Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1980 Detroit Lions alternate history. We are going to take a look at Week 12's overtime victory versus the Cincinnati Bengals. And then we will look ahead at the Week 13 matchup versus the Green Bay Packers. So let's start with yesterday's ball game, and then we'll take a look at the contest results. Yesterday's ball game, I went through like every emotion that you can have within a period of an hour yesterday. I was angry, I was excited, I was pissed off. I lost my mind a couple times. It just was one of those games where we got up early, 14-0, thanks to 2 turnovers by the Bengals. And we were dominating in every aspect. We ran the ball well. The defense was playing great despite our injuries to our linebacking core. And I felt like we were going to win straight away. Bengals suffered a couple of injuries on their own defense, and like we were just picking them apart. And then I don't know what happened. Like the game just flipped the switch. No longer able to put up points. They scored a touchdown thanks to several penalties from Gary Cobb. 2 encroachment penalties from a linebacker. I don't know how that's possible, but it happened apparently. And we missed a field goal in there. And next thing you knew, we were able to get a third touchdown to give us a 21-7 lead. And there was 3 minutes to go in the ball game. 3 minutes, the game was in hand. We were up by 2 scores, and all of a sudden, the Bengals could not be stopped. At one point, Kenny Anderson was 5 for 16, and he ended the game at 50% completion percentage. So they went right down the field, scored the touchdown, did the onside kick, got it on our 45-yard line, and marched right down and scored, and we went to overtime. And I don't know if the game was trying to reward us, because we have not had very many big plays on offense all year. Maybe 1 or 2 up to the overtime in yesterday's ball game. And that's when Danielson threw a 46-yard touchdown pass to our tight end, David Hill, who's been pretty anonymous all year. He made one big play yesterday, and that was what won us the ball game. So, yes, we did come away with a victory, but it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth with this game and the way that it's designed. We are playing the 2017 version. See right here, Football Mogul 2017. So maybe the versions that are newer are better. I don't know. But what happened in yesterday's game is the same thing that happened against the Buccaneers, in which we won by a field goal overtime. We were up by 14 points. They scored, got the onside kick, scored again. We went to OT, and we won on a field goal kick. So, it's that type of computer AI that where the game will not let you win outright because of whatever level of difficulty you've chosen. That really frustrates me. I don't think that makes the game fun or interesting. I don't, I complain about these things in these games because a game like this is so close to being right. Like it's so close to making it exactly the way a game should be designed in my mind. Maybe it'd be cool to have little X's and O's running around the field or something. It doesn't have to be that way if the game can be enjoyable with the script that is printed out as the play is determined. So I don't mind that. In fact, it makes me think of old school games that I enjoyed when I was a kid. So it just comes down to a poorly crafted AI in which you are not allowed to win straight away. The game has to make it interesting because of the point spread or whatever. Like, take this crap away if this has some bearing on how the game is going to be determined at the end, because that's not fun. We were definitely going to go under. We were definitely going to win. We were going to run the ball, and it would have ate up the clock, which we did. We won the time of possession. Excuse me. But, you know, if the over-under and the pick'em in some way determines the outright score, then I would say eliminate this completely from the game. And maybe they have. I don't know. Maybe the new versions don't have it. So, nonetheless, we did take the victory, and we've got a contest going on. Let's take a look at the contest results. We've got a new leader, really the first new leader since week 2. Don T picked Detroit and the over. And so he gets a victory, and he gets the tiebreaker by guessing both correctly. And I've already double checked this, so I know it's correct. So now Don also owns the tiebreaker. He's got 5 where he's guessed completely correct to Sean's 4 and to John's 3. John also guessed correctly as far as picking Detroit. So yes, anyway, Don now has a lead with 4 weeks to go. So let's go ahead and take a look really quick, I guess, at the Lions offense. We'll look at our injuries and what we've got going on here. We know we did suffer one injury to our defense. But our offense has everyone healthy. So we have all of our best players in the game offensively. Those 5 penalties that we had, 4 of them were in the first half. That was rough. And Baldschweiler, he had 2 of the penalties yesterday, absolutely killing us. And I think Keith Thorney had the other one on the offensive line. Let's take a look at Gary Danielson. He's now over 3,000 yards. He played really well yesterday. He did get a late interception, which was unfortunate. It really kind of hurt the team when we needed it most, but that's the way the game goes. He's got 16 touchdowns and a new career high in interceptions. Billy Sims now over 1,000 yards. I believe, yes, he had 113 yards rushing yesterday, so that's his first 100-yard rushing game in quite a while. He's got 10 TDs rushing and 2 receiving. Dexter Bussey, he scored a touchdown yesterday. He's got 2 on the year. Great job by Dexter Bussey. He's got that 4.28 rushing average, which is the best on the team. Here is David Hill. He was the big hero of yesterday's game with that 46-yard touchdown pass, touchdown receive, and that was his first of the season. Good job by David Hill. Freddie Scott still maintains the most receptions and yardage receiving of any player in the NFL. So good job by him. He's got 7 touchdowns. He was kind of quiet in the first half, and then we pulled out the big guns at the end there. Leonard Thompson, I think we chose a couple of pass plays for him, and I think he only caught 1 ball yesterday. So he was pretty quiet. Mike Freedy. I guess we have to go down for Mike Freedy here. So those are our starting offensive players. We'll just throw a couple people of note here. Rick Kane, another solid game. I have now made Rick Kane our punt returner going forward. I looked at the league leaders, and Arnold is not even in the top 10 in the NFC. So I got rid of Arnold as a punt returner. It's going to be Rick Kane because he has the fastest 40-yard dash. of any offensive player that's not in the starting lineup. So Rick Kane will get that job from now on. Mike Freedy, what a good year he's having. I never even heard of this guy before we started this sim. He's got 26 receptions, 328 yards, a couple TDs. Good job by him. I don't know if we need to really look at anybody else here. I guess we can look at John Arnold. So you can see his punt return is 6.4, and his kickoff return is 20.5, which is pretty low considering he did have a touchdown. I think it was in week 2. And then you have the rest of the offensive line here, which are a bunch of schlubs. They are the schlubbiest schlubs that ever schlubbed. Let's take a look at our special teams. Eddie Murray has missed 2 field goals in a row. Both of them probably would have won us the ball game, at least been the difference in the ball game. And he did make all of the extra points. Congratulations on doing your gerb. Tom Skladany had a good game punting. And you can see here, John Arnold there, 30 kick returns, 20.5 yards. And Rick Kane will get the job now as the punt returner. So here's where we have a problem. This is our defense here. We lost another... we didn't lose another linebacker. We are missing Luce, and we are missing Weaver. Simmons did get injured in the game, which brought... who was it? Harrell as a every down linebacker in the second half, but Simmons is fine. He's back. That is still our weakness, is our linebacking core. Charlie Weaver. Darrell Luce is out. Purifoy, we know, is already out. But Prentice McRae, for the second time this season, is going on the IL, and his season's over unless we make it to the playoffs, which is not going to happen. So all that means is we move Jimmy Allen, who's started 8 games this year already anyway, who's been great. He's got an interception. He just slides right in, not a big deal there. We are still elite level with our secondary, and our linebackers are poor, and our defensive line is not great. No sacks in what seems like forever. I don't know what happened to Bubba Baker, but he's just not able to get another sack. So there we go. That's our team. So injuries to our defense. We did beat the Packers 31-0, but they did not have Lynn Dickey. He was already injured from the previous week 1, and it was David Whitehurst who was their quarterback, and we just absolutely lit up David Whitehurst, so much so that they brought in Steve Pizarkowitz. So let's see what the Packers are packing. They've got Lynn Dickey back in there. And you can see here, he's only made 5 starts. It's coming off the IL. And, he's been all right, 61%. That's a career high by a lot. 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Overall rated an 86, so he's not even really that great. So I don't know if the game is compensating for him being out and giving him such a high percentage completion. Here is the running back. It's a rookie. It's Jerry Ellis out of Mizzou. And he's over 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, 5 fumbles, 24 catches out of the backfield. Here is the tight end. Now, their tight end, John Thompson, second-year tight end out of Utah State, really lowly rated. So if we take a look here, you'll see that their number 1 tight end is Paul Kaufman. He started 12 games this year, so he just got injured. His rating is a 61. I'm assuming that's because of the injury is why it's so low. So their number 1 tight end is not in there. So they got some backups, which is good because they won't be able to block our, whether they catch or not, I don't know. But they won't be able to block our blitz. And then we have James Lofton, Hall of Fame wide receiver. I clicked on it. Let's go. There we go. In his 3rd year out of Stanford. 42 receptions, 577 yards. He's obviously very good. Andre Thompson, 29 receptions. That's a career high. 415 yards and 3 TDs. And then you'll see here their offensive line, their center is below 70, which is not good. Let's take a look down here. Because their starting center, Larry McCarron, is out for the year. Also, it looks like they have a wide receiver that's out for 4 games, which makes no difference because he's probably on the kick return team. So, yeah. So that's their injuries for their offense. A couple of key players, but nothing that would maybe prevent them from scorching us and getting a little revenge for that 31-0 game. Just looking real quick, I mean, Eddie Lee Ivory rated a 94. He was probably their actual running back in 1980, but they have the higher rated player there. So makes sense. Special teams. They've got 3 kickers on their roster, including Jan Stenerud, one of the best in the game. 71.4 success rate. David Beverly, 44.9 as the punter. And you can see Eddie Lee Ivory doing the kick returns and the punt returns. 12.4 yards. That does lead the NFL in punt return yardage average. Let's take a look at the defense. So their number 1 defensive end is out, Ezra Johnson. Ed O'Neill, their number 1 linebacker, is out. Former Detroit Lion, in fact. And the number 1 cornerback is out, Estes Hood. Sorry, I don't know what that was all about. Did we just lose the feed? Let's see. Nope, we're still going. Okay, that was weird. So yeah, if that was a delay, their number 1 defensive end is out. Ed O'Neill, the number 1 linebacker, is out, and their number 1 cornerback is out. So 3 integral defensive players are out. Wiley Turner gets his first start of the year. Somebody named Kurt Allerman is getting his 3rd start of the year. Mike Butler, his 6th start. And looks like they've been cycling through safeties for quite a bit here. So, I feel like we have an advantage over their defense here. I mean, they don't seem to have anybody who's spectacular. I mean, their safeties are really good, actually. And Johnny Gray's got 5 interceptions. Mark Lee has 4. So it's a pretty solid team. Let's take a look at the point spread here. Detroit, we are giving them 7.5 points, and the over-under is 40. So that is going to be really, really, really tough to guesstimate because, I agree, we should win this ball game. 7.5 points is a lot, though, to give up. So I don't know about that. 40 points, I would think we would be able to go over pretty easily, but I don't know. This is a tough call. I don't really know if I can give proper advice, or should I? With 4 games to go, I should let you guys kind of, based on what I've done so far, which has not been awesome, I guess, let you guys figure out what the best call is. But that's my synopsis of the activity for next week. Let's take a look at league leaders. You may be curious. These are just the top leaders here. Doug Williams, best quarterback. We really did a number on Ken Anderson. He dropped to number 4 overall. Rushing yards leader is Wilbert Montgomery. 1,403 yards. I guess he could get to 2,000. That would be incredible. Billy Sims has dropped to 8th. And Freddie Scott, number 1 overall in receiving yards. And the sack leader is still Rulon Jones. Steve McMichael on the Patriots, number 2. So, and then one last look at the playoff race so far. We looked at it yesterday, but just in case, we'll give you another shot at it here. Packers, we could knock them out of the playoff if we get a little bit lucky. So maybe that's what we're playing for now, is to knock the Packers out. Okay, I guess that's going to do it. Thanks for watching, guys. We're going to come back on Sunday to play Week 13, and there will be a 1969 Seattle Pilots what-if scenario game coming up later on this afternoon. So until then, everyone, have a great day.